You guys ready for the Royal Rumble? We have a lot to discuss about the pay-per-view event as well as the latest news on the new tag team champions. We got that and much, much more on the Hard Hittin' Wrestling Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, prepare your ear holes for the best wrestling podcast in the world. It's time for the Hard Hittin' Wrestling Show.
Welcome everyone to the Hard Wrestling Show. We're live here on Facebook. That's right, facebook.com/HHW Show. I'm here with Frank and Hector, both from out of state. And also I have my son with me on camera, Jovi. We got a lot to cover in a short amount of time. So again, we'll get started. We're going to be covering also the new tag team champions, couple of scenarios that's happening on Raw and SmackDown, and then we'll end the show with our predictions that's going to happen this Sunday on the pay-per-view event of the Royal Rumble. And if you're not there in Houston, Texas, you can catch it on the WWE Network. That's right, WWE Network. The show starts at 6 o'clock with the kickoff show, and then it leads into the regular show. So without a doubt, hey guys, how you guys doing?
Doing good.
All right, man. It's been a while, since last year we talked to each other. So finally we got ourselves, I think, TLC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Doug is not with us, and neither is Jay, so I hope that these guys are hearing us live. We'll get their picks soon. But we're jumping on in, man. The biggest story right now is Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins, who claimed that he was not caught off guard by the decisions that Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe made, but was really surprised that really the Viking Raiders showed up to join the force to try to get a 4-on-4 battle. So how you guys felt about this situation leading into their match?
I was okay with it at first.
Okay.
I mean, there's 4 of them. Why not have 4 of the others, Which was fine.
Well, good mathematically, yes. But Hector, how do you feel this whole thing forming up with adding the Viking Raiders to the mix?
I felt kind of suspect when I seen the Viking Raiders come out. I thought it was a setup right then and there. At first I thought it was the AOP that was going to go after the titles, but once I knew it was for the tag team titles, it was almost a give me what was fixing to happen. I mean, why all of a sudden, out of nowhere, first you get the Big Show, now you get the Viking Raiders, involved in this. So, yeah, I knew it was a setup to me.
Right. So, at the end, Rollins and Murphy, Rollins issued the challenge in which he decided, Buddy Murphy and himself, to go after the tag team titles, and which, to me, if you replay it again, you saw AOP huffing and puffing, like getting ready to, it's about that time. And then it kind of like exhaled in disbelief that Seth Rollins actually said it would be Murphy and him to go against the Viking Raiders. And at the end, all is said and done, Rollins and Murphy pretty much defeated the Viking Raiders to capture the tag team titles to become the new Raw Tag Team Champions. How do you feel about them being the tag team champions right now?
Don't like it.
Why?
I don't see simple. How are you going to put 2 guys that haven't wrestled together to beat a team that's been wrestling together for a while? There's no chemistry there.
There's no difference between Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman when they did it, right?
Yes, it's the same scenario. I wasn't happy then either. I think it's ridiculous. You have a tag team division with good tag teams.
Okay.
Why not give someone else a shot? I mean, you know what? If they wanted the Monday Night Messiah crew to have it, okay, have AOP challenge for the title. Let them win the title. They've been around. They are an established team.
You're absolutely right. They are established. So, pretty much the way Seth see it is that's their bodyguards. That's their muscle. But Hector, what do you see? What does it mean for AOP at this point right now? Hector?
Did we lose him?
Yeah, sorry. No, I'm back. I'm here. Yeah, I think with Seth Rollins winning the tag titles, it's almost like he's going to gloat about the fact that, hey, I can win the tag team titles with anybody I want. You know, that's how good he is, you know, the self-proclaimed Messiah. And I think this is a good push for Buddy Murphy since he's been losing a lot of matches, especially to Aleister Black, you know. But I think this kind of helps him out a little bit. But I don't see this reign lasting too much longer, honestly.
So do you think that, well, the previous question was, what does it mean for AOP? And I'm glad that you mentioned that. Do you see that AOP may disengage with the Messiah and maybe they go after Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy?
No, I think they're going to lose these tag titles pretty quick. And then that's going to give the AOP the opportunity to go after them titles, which I think will be rightfully better for them to hold the tag team titles. Then that gives the Rollins to go after another title.
Okay. So with that in mind, Seth Rollins added himself to the Royal Rumble, and because he did that, Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe added themselves also, declaring that they will be participating in the Royal Rumble. However, both Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe had some little small words against each other. So pretty much they're saying that every man for itself. But they want to make sure that they eliminate Seth Rollins. Do you think that's possible?
Yeah, it might be. It might be possible that they will. Remember what one of them said, and I want to say it was, what was the saying that they said? The enemy of my friend is my friend. No, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
There you go. You got it. Yeah,
it took me a while. I can't remember which one of them said it right now, but I know it was said.
Well, I mean, they both agree that they both have their own agendas, and they know each other. You know, Samoa Joe's very neutral. With Kevin Owens, he has a history of backstabbing his tag team partner. So I think it's a good way because, you know, they're gonna give it all in the ring, but I don't think that they're going to eliminate Seth Rollins. If anything, maybe Brock will get in the way, which we'll talk about later. But let's move on forward here to Becky Lynch and Asuka's story. This Sunday, they'll match up. How you feel about Becky Lynch and Asuka, their storyline? How's that leading to the Royal Rumble? Hector?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good match, and I think it's just the build-up is kind of letting us know the storyline that Becky's going to finally get over that hump. You know, her Royal Rumble pay-per-view record is not good. Asuka's undefeated in this kind of situation. She's undefeated against, you know, the champ. So I think all this build-up and hype is getting her to the point where she's going to finally beat her and really cement herself as the man. So Asuka can go ahead and just go back and focus on the tag team titles and defending that right now, because I don't see Asuka winning this match, becoming champ, and then having to be double booked defending the tag titles and the women's championship at the same time.
Okay. Frank?
I agree with Hector on that one. I think it's time for Becky to beat Asuka. You know, and the storyline's pointing to it, though. You know, and I think normally with these storylines, when you have wrestlers that keep on losing to another one, when it comes out of the pay-per-view, they win it.
Yeah, but Asuka's a different character, though. I mean, you guys got valid points, but, you know, we can't dismiss how good Asuka is. And
no, I'm not dismissing that. I think it's going to be a hell of a match.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a great match, but I think at the end, Becky's going to keep the title.
All right. Moving forward here, again, we'll talk about more of that later in our prediction. Kane returns to SmackDown during the opening show. That triggered the Fiend to come out underneath the ring to try to get Kane, but he met with a big surprise as Daniel Bryan attacked the Fiend. So where does this lead to? What does it mean for Kane in the Royal Rumble? Do you think he's going to participate in the Battle Royal, or will he support Daniel Bryan?
I think he's going to support Daniel Bryan. I don't think he's going to participate in the Battle Royal. He hasn't wrestled in God knows how long. He's been doing his mayor duties. So I think he's going to support Daniel Bryan if that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's going to be that distraction. You know, seeing how his picture was already hung up in the Firefly Funhouse, and with Bray Wyatt looking like, wait a minute, you know, I thought we already, you know, banished you, but here you are still standing. You know, the demon's favorite son here, still rising up. So I think it's just going to be that distraction, you know, for Daniel Bryan to do what he has to do.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about more there with our predictions, and I'll give you my thoughts there to see who I choose, whether it's Lynch or Asuka. Whether it's Daniel Bryan or The Fiend. Double duties. Double duties is what's going on between Roman Reigns and King Corbin. Roman Reigns and King Corbin have a match, and it's a Falls Count Anywhere match, and they both are going to be participating in the Royal Rumble. And with that said, I mean, this feud doesn't seem like it's going to end. What's your thoughts on this match, Hector?
As much as I hate to say this, honestly, I think that this rivalry is good for SmackDown. Yes, we know Reigns is supposed to be the face, but I just have a funny feeling King Corbin is going to come out on it. It just has the upper hand on him. You know, he just has the upper hand on Roman Reigns. And Roman's going to have to figure out between now and WrestleMania and how to get over that hump and take down Corbin.
Okay. Frank?
I think Roman's going to beat him. I mean, I'm tired of seeing the storyline. I think, you know, what did it for me was the whole dog food incident. You know, and I think, you know, Reigns is going to take it, and hopefully the storyline ends. It's good, but it's getting stale.
It's wishful thinking there, man, especially when you have a top heel in SmackDown. You got the face, which is Roman Reigns, and we don't know how far it's going to go. I mean, I'll predict that it may end up going all the way to WrestleMania. So, I mean, the Universal title is going to be on the line, but who else is going to, you know, chase for that title? So I think we may end up seeing them two collide more after this pay-per-view. Jovi, who do you think is how do you feel about King Corbin and Roman Reigns?
This actually Roman Reigns beat Bobby Roode for last.
Can't hear him.
Night SmackDown.
Okay. Can you repeat yourself again?
Well, Roman Reigns setting up the table, defeating Bobby Roode. That match was incredible.
Okay. I mean, what that's going to lead to King Corbin this Sunday. So how do you feel about the match between Roman Reigns and King Corbin?
Ooh, that's what I was going to say. Roman Reigns.
You like Roman Reigns in this match? Okay, fair enough. Hey, there's so many possibilities. I mean, we could end up seeing Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode come out because it's for a matter of fact, I think this is a no disqualification match as well.
It is.
So if you see these two come out, we'll see the Usos making their first appearance in a long time in a pay-per-view event. So I could see this going in many ways. But to see the outcome, this outcome is not going to finish. No matter who wins, whether it's Roman Reigns or King Corbin, the person in the Royal Rumble, whoever's the last man standing in there is going to have the last laugh. Are you passionate about a subject? Do you have the gift of the gab? Are you interested in putting that all together to start your own podcast? If so, check out Clovercrest Media Group. Come and join the Clovercrest Media Group podcast family. You can find all the information you need at clovercrestmedia.com. Clovercrest Media Group. The harder we work, the luckier we get. But we're moving on here to the Royal Rumble. That's right, Royal Rumble pay-per-view. It's happening this Sunday, 6 o'clock kickoff start. Hey, a lot of matches been formulated within the last 24 hours. We'll cover that. But we're going to start first and work our way backwards here. Will probably be the first match and probably in the kickoff show. Sheamus versus Shorty G. Now, hey, Sheamus came back from a long absence as he healed from his injuries, and the first person he attacked was Shorty G. So this is another height and weight issue. Hey guys, we'll start with Frank. Frank, who's your pick, Sheamus or Shorty G?
Sheamus.
All right.
Sheamus needs that push. Well, he doesn't need it, but he's gonna get that push.
Okay. Frank. I mean, Hector, are you trying to go away somewhere, man? What's up? Are you trying to run away from your picks?
Not me. I'm still here. No, I think this is a good push for Sheamus. The WWE did a lot of hype for Sheamus' return, and I think this is a good start, Shorty G is a great athlete, I don't like the name per se, I like Chad Gable better, but he's an incredible wrestler. However, with the return of Sheamus, and I see big things happening for him in the future, no doubt that Sheamus will win this match with a bro kick.
All right. I picked Sheamus as well. He's too big of a star. I mean, he's a former world champion, and I don't think he'll go down with Shorty G. Jovi, who's your pick, Sheamus or Shorty G?
Sheamus.
Sheamus? All right, fair enough.
What happened Friday night SmackDown? He's gonna win that.
Oh, so you think he's gonna hit that bro kick real hard? All right, that's what's up. Another match that's unofficial yet. We have to wait till this Friday on SmackDown. We got Shinsuke Nakamura, who may be defending his title against Braun Strowman. This is well overdue. This match should have happened back when TLC, but with Braun Strowman's injury, that was a little setback. So, Frank, we'll start with you on this one. Who is your take, Shinsuke or Braun Strowman?
Braun.
Okay.
He deserves it already.
Deserving it is one thing, but we get it in here. So you think it'll be
I think Braun Strowman's gonna take it.
Okay. Hector.
Yeah, I don't see Braun Strowman winning this belt. I mean, it'll be great to see a big man like the Big Show holding the Intercontinental title. However, I don't see this happening. I mean, I've said this before, and I'm sticking to it. I think Sheamus is going to finally turn, and he's going to be the one to take it from Nakamura, not Braun Strowman. I mean, I think they just need something better with Braun Strowman. They need to do something better with him instead of chasing these titles and giving fans the hope that this big man is going to win something and just keep falling short every single time. I mean, granted, he was tag team champion, but, I mean, this gimmick of him trying to go after title, then failing after time, I mean, I just don't see him winning this belt. Nakamura is going to find a way, even if it's with the help of his cohorts. He's going to win this match. So I'm going with Nakamura.
All right, what about you, Jovi?
Braun Strowman.
All right, Braun Strowman it is. You got some good valid points there, Hector, but I got to go with Braun, man. I think it's long overdue. He should have had won it last month, but I think I wouldn't mind seeing Sheamus versus Braun Strowman for the title match instead of having Shinsuke, because Shinsuke's been like a dog and pony show wearing that title. So, but hey, that's just my opinion. We'll see what happens this Sunday. A match added as of today is the rematch between Andrade and Humberto Carrillo. That's going to happen this Sunday for the United States Championship. This is an outstanding rebound for Humberto, who last Monday came out of nowhere to help Rey Mysterio for further injuries that Andrade was trying to create. But I don't think the fans really are digging Humberto Carrillo. I think that was a rush push for him to be up there. I can see this stealing the show because both superstars are very athletic. They're very charismatic. I think we're gonna get a better showing from what we saw Monday when Andrade retained the title over Rey Mysterio. So I'm still gonna follow Andrade on this one. Frank, what you got there?
As much as I want Humberto Carrillo to win it, I'm going to agree with you. I think Andrade is going to win. I think this will lead further into the following pay-per-views, and I think that's going to become a really good rivalry. But I think this match in particular is going to be won by Andrade.
All right, Hector?
Yeah, I have no doubt about it. Andrade is going to win this match, but it should be a good showing between both superstars. You know, a lot of maneuvers, a lot of moves are going to be happening here. But Andrade, I think he looks good as a champion, and I think he'll hold that title for a while.
Okay, Jovi?
Humberto Carrillo.
Outstanding. He wants to go Humberto. He's dying to make every difference here so he can win his title. So we'll see on that one. All right, get the hard stuff going. Here we go. Becky Lynch and Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. I want to go for Asuka. I really do. But it's just something in me that I think the storyline is set up for a bigger one later down the road, and it's going to reflect the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble. So without a doubt, as much as I would love Asuka to go, everything's leaning on Becky Lynch. But if she was to lose, I mean, it's no hard, no foul, because, you know, I still think Asuka is a better superstar than any other females in the Raw roster right now. But I did mention last week with Jace that sometimes you got to lose to learn from your mistakes so you can bounce back and win. But I don't see the case. This storyline is continuing to be more in favor of Becky Lynch. Hector, I'll start with you can lead on to this. Who's your pick?
Yeah, I think it makes more sense from a booking standpoint that Becky Lynch wins this match and holds this title to WrestleMania, so we can see who wins the women's part of the Royal Rumble. So that can be a big, build up until WrestleMania, and for Asuka to just continue to help elevate the women's tag team division, because I think she's good as a tag title champion, and for all the other comers to come after that title, I think it's just best to be. I think that it would look better that way. So I got Becky Lynch in this match.
All right, Frank.
I got Becky.
Okay.
I got Becky on this match. I mean, it's just, it's like I said earlier. Everything is pointing for her to win. It's, she's been losing against Asuka. She's losing, and so I think it's time, it's time for Becky to turn that page and beat her.
All right, Jovi?
Asuka.
All right, he's picking Asuka. He's picking all the opposites here. All right. Roman Reigns versus King Corbin, Falls Count Anywhere match. We just mentioned earlier that we'll probably more likely see Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler and the Usos interfering in this match. Here's the conclusion. I got a feeling King Corbin is going to come victorious on this one. Frank?
I'm going to say you're wrong, and I'm going to go with Roman Reigns, regardless of who comes in and out.
Okay. It's just like you going in and out in your car, man. What's going on over there?
No, nothing.
Yo, you can't run away with these picks, man. You got to stay put. All right, Hector, what you got, man?
Yeah, I have to agree with you as much as I hate to do this, but I think King Corbin is going to come out winning this match. I mean, with him beating Reigns at TLC, which was, to me, a surprise, I don't think it's going to be so much of a surprise this time around. I mean, it's the only storyline I think these two can actually have with each other on SmackDown, so why not let it continue going on? Even though we think that, it should be the big dog getting revenge and winning this match, but I don't think that's the best case scenario here. So I think King Corbin is going to find another way of weaseling himself away a win and just continuing his, gloating that he owns Roman Reigns. So yeah, I'm going with King Corbin on this one.
Okay, Jovi?
Actually, last Friday Night SmackDown, he was shocked on Roman Reigns that he sat over the table on Bobby Roode. But how can you tell that King Corbin is going to be victorious?
So who you pick?
King Corbin.
All right. So Corbin it is, man. Corbin it is.
I'm on my own on this one.
Yeah, you are, man. You are. So, all right, we're going on to the next match. We got Bayley versus Lacey Evans for the SmackDown Women's Champion. This is really the most stalemate storyline that I have seen in the SmackDown Women's division. I think this is there's no interest in this match, to be honest with you, because everyone's looking forward for Sasha Banks to turn on Bayley. So whether that storyline goes through or not, I mean, you got Lacey Evans, who's portraying, well, she is a former Marine and she's a mother. For a storyline like this, for Lacey Evans to lose, I don't think this is relevant for Betty to hold on to the title. But at the same time, you know, Sasha Banks, you know, she may interfere in the match, so I got a feeling Bayley's gonna win it. What do you say, Frank?
I think Lacey Evans is gonna win. I think Bayley's time as champion is overdue. You know, and I'm a fan of Bayley, but I can tell you that I'm tired of seeing her as a champion. I'm tired of her storyline right now, and I would like Lacey Evans, and I think Lacey will take the title from Bayley, because that later on, if Sasha Banks does not turn on Bayley, then it's going to leave it later on for Sasha Banks to go against Lacey Evans.
So you pick Lacey Evans?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How about you, Frank?
I am Frank.
Hector. Sorry, Hector. My bad.
Yeah, I got to agree with Frank. I mean, I think Bayley can recover from losing the title than Lacey Evans losing this match. So I'm going with Lacey Evans to win this title, and I do see Sasha Banks claiming herself as the next challenger in line for the title, and that could cause some friction between Bayley and Sasha. But I do see, you know, the Sassy Southern Belle winning this title here, you know, and changing things up for the women's side on SmackDown. So yeah, Lacey Evans.
All right. That'd be a great scenario. You guys got valid points. I just having a hard time seeing how everything will formulate around Sasha and Bayley. But hey, that's why we're predicting the matches, right?
Yes,
Joey, who you going for?
Bayley.
All right, Bayley it is. Okay, so we got a split here. All right, moving on to the Universal title. It's a strap match between Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan. I'll leave my comments for last. We'll start with Hector. How do you see this match going?
Very, very crazy. Two crazy people strapped up together with leather. That's going to be some wild stuff on a Sunday night.
Leather and straps.
Oh,
I'm telling you, boy, with 50 Shades of Grey going on over there on the Royal Rumble. But, you know, I think, honestly, you know, the Fiend is the type of character that he doesn't need the Universal title to be relevant on SmackDown, but it's great that he has the belt around his waist to make it more challenging for everybody, you know, because he's so hard to figure out when you got Bray Wyatt and then the Fiend, you know, two personalities. But Daniel Bryan, man, he's a great competitor, great superstar, great wrestler, but you're not going to get over on the Fiend that easy. Okay, this is going to probably carry out towards WrestleMania. I see the Fiend just choking the mess out of Daniel Bryan with this strap somehow and winning this match. So, yeah, I mean, I got the Fiend in this one.
Wow, you really are on point when you say choking them out with the straps, man. I mean, that's some crazy stuff there. I see what you've been doing lately. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, before the show, you was in the toilet, so imagine that. Frank, man, what you got, man?
I got Daniel Bryan on this one. I think, like Hector said, he sees the Fiend choking out Daniel Bryan. I think it might be the other way around.
Ah, man.
Yes.
They're going to choke each other then. You
haven't seen the Fiend, you know, not retaliate, but just kind of go in hiding or run away from his competitor. And on last week's SmackDown, that's what you saw. You saw him crawl right back in the hole. Normally he's going to take someone in the hole with him. This time around, he did not. He ran from Daniel Bryan.
Well, in his defense, the Kane was also in the ring, so I mean, he probably would realize 2 against 1 is not pretty cool. But hey, I mean, you got a point there, but at the same time, don't forget Kane was there as well.
And let me interject on that. Kane could be a factor in this. He could be the surprise factor here. And you know how they say, if you can't beat him, join him.
Hey, don't steal my thunder on this one, man. Come on.
Go ahead.
I told you I got my comments last. Jovi, who you got? You got Bray or Daniel Bryan?
Daniel Bryan.
Say that one more time.
Daniel Bryan.
All right, Daniel Bryan it is. So, that's what I say. I'm making the prediction here. Listen, I got a feeling we're not going to see the end of Kane, but I don't think Kane's going to participate in the Royal Rumble like people are saying. I think his intent is to interfere with the match, okay, allow Daniel Bryan to win the Universal title, and then it's going to set up for the next pay-per-view, okay, with Kane versus The Fiend, okay? The Fiend is going to defeat Kane, and that's going to rise The Undertaker. And I'm saying it right now, I have The Undertaker versus The Fiend for WrestleMania. So that's the order that he's going to make happen.
Okay.
So no additional comments there.
Okay.
It's interesting because, I mean, you know, The Fiend has not encountered The Undertaker yet. Bray Wyatt has, but not The Fiend. So, you know, if he's trying to put somebody on that wall at the Firefly Funhouse, that'd be the biggest name he can put up there is The Undertaker.
And remember what Bray Wyatt said, he don't forget.
Exactly, and he hasn't forgotten. He's taking out everybody that to his remembrance. So yeah, it's possible.
Absolutely.
That's very possible. I think you're onto something there.
Well, thank you very much. Like I always have, but thank you. That's what I do.
Not always.
Hey.
All right, don't get bit like Eric Rowan now.
Oh, here we go. All right, so check this out. Two more predictions. We're now starting with the Women's Royal Rumble. Now, at this time, we have Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, and Sarah Logan. We have 4 out of the 30 that's supposed to be in the Royal Rumble. They're locked in. I mean, I think everything is a surprise. I'm just confused sometimes on why we don't have more women already listed in the pay-per-view for the Royal Rumble. But here we are. We got Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Sarah Logan again. All right. With so many women out there, Hector, who you got? Or what is the rumor? What do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to win the Women's Royal Rumble?
I honestly think that it is going to be Charlotte Flair. She had a valid point that she should have won it last year, but for some crazy reason, someone who wasn't even part of it interjected herself into the Royal Rumble and wind up winning it. So that's why I got to stick with Charlotte Flair, and for her to be the Royal Rumble winner, go on and chase that 11-time championship title. So, I mean, hands down, I'm going with Charlotte Flair.
Okay. Frank?
I'm going to think that, going back to the SmackDown Women's Championship, where I said earlier that if they're set up, Lacey wins, right? And Sasha to go for it, right, against Lacey. I think Sasha Banks is going to enter, and then she's going to go after Lacey.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna say this for that. Let me get Jovi on here and to see who he picks for the Women's Royal Rumble. Who you got?
Shayna Baszler.
He listened to me too much. So he picks Shayna Baszler, and I'm gonna pick Shayna Baszler as well, and I'm gonna tell you why. She is the best kept secret right now. She did lose the title to Rhea Ripley, and pretty much what that means is she gave the torch to Rhea Ripley to represent NXT. So this is her show now. So with that, Baszler's always been mentioned that she's gonna go to the WWE brand, whether it's Raw or SmackDown. But a lot of rumors are speculating that Baszler may face Becky Lynch in WrestleMania, which is all in good. However, I don't think that's gonna happen. But I do know for a fact that Shayna Baszler is going to be the winner of the Royal Rumble. And I'm hoping that she goes to SmackDown and go after the title in SmackDown. And that's why I'm a firm believer that maybe Bayley will still be the champion throughout that time. Now, what does that mean for Sasha Banks and everybody else? I have no idea, because the belts are very limited. It's not like the men's where we have Intercontinental Championship, the United States title, you got the 2 other world championships. So it's kind of, I feel like it's unfair because, we see other females that have potential of becoming champions. And that's why I say, you know what, all that hype for this, but why not Charlotte Flair go after Becky Lynch and WrestleMania, and then they just fight over it. But again, we also have the Elimination Chamber that could also factor in for the belts. But I got a feeling Baszler's going to show up, and I think Stephanie McMahon is also going to make her appearance. So, like I said, there's going to be so much. But I got a feeling that someone NXT is going to come out of nowhere and win it, and why not be Shayna Baszler?
That's possible. I could see that happening, but if she does come out and win this, I will see her going to SmackDown, because this is too much superstar power on Raw for her to go over there. So yeah, it would make sense for her to go to SmackDown. I agree with that.
Look, we got also a rumor that Io Shirai might be also converting to the WWE Raw or SmackDown. Other names that haven't been mentioned, that Carmella could be a factor. We could even see Paige coming back from retirement just to be in this Royal Rumble. I mean, she's been getting some hints on the backstage show. But again, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke has been, like, this year, she's been winning matches. So that could be a big surprise. Ruby Riott also coming back from injury. She can make it. But I think the other superstar that no one's ever mentioned, that she's making her name for herself both at NXT and NXT UK, is Toni Storm. So look out for Toni Storm, because she's ruthless. I'm telling you that right now. But okay. Last one. We have the men's Royal Rumble. And as we all know, Brock Lesnar made it known that he's going to enter the Royal Rumble at number 1. And, hey, I'm just curious to know who's going to step in to go face him as number 2. So, besides all that, Hector, we'll start with you. Who's your favorite to win the Royal Rumble?
My official pick to win the Royal Rumble is going to sound off the wall, but I think Drew McIntyre is going to win it.
Okay.
Just the way the hype of the way he's getting the fans drawn to his side. Yeah, he's been struggling a little bit with Randy Orton, but that's to be expected. You talking about the legend killer here, okay? A man who's been experienced in that ring for so many years. But Drew is drawing the crowd to him. So I think he's going to be that surprise in the Royal Rumble. Brock Lesnar calling himself the number 1, I get it. But he's never been a fan of the long matches. So I don't see him even lasting until number 30 even gets in there. Okay? He may last pretty long, but I don't see him going in there and lasting until the last man shows up. But I think Drew McIntyre is going to surprise everybody in this Royal Rumble. So that's my pick.
All right, Frank?
Hector, you stole my thunder. Because I'm gonna say Drew. Drew's getting that push. Drew, it's gonna be Drew and Drew and Drew and Drew. That's all it is to it. He's gonna win that Rumble. And you know what? I think it might end up being the last 2 guys might be Brock and Drew. and he's going to throw Brock over.
Okay.
Or Brock's going to make a mistake and fly over. Who knows? But I think Drew's going to take it.
Or
He's been getting that push.
But who's to say also whoever throws Brock over lasts that long to the end and Brock comes in and eliminates them.
True.
So either way.
So many possibilities.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many angles to this.
But who said it was somebody in Raw that's going to win? It could be in SmackDown or it could be in NXT because all three brands will be participating in this Royal Rumble.
Exactly.
So, Jovi, who you got for the Royal Rumble?
Drew McIntyre.
Okay, another Drew fan. Hey, you know, I've been a big Drew McIntyre fan ever since he converted to be a babyface, and he started doing that after TLC. I was there live in Hartford when Drew came out, and he's winning the crowd, and every week I think he's gaining that momentum, like you said, Hector. I picked Drew McIntyre. I really did, but as we all know, the history of the Royal Rumble, when you think somebody's in favor, when somebody's favorite, most of the time they don't win. You know, how many times that we thought Roman Reigns was going to win that second time that he was at the Royal Rumble, and then he ended up losing, right? And then the following year, we thought Rusev was going to win, but then, you know, people were booing that Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble. You know what I'm saying? So every time we think that person should win, doesn't mean that it's going to happen. And I think that Drew might get screwed on this. But I'll tell you this much. And I'm going to still stick with my pick because, like I said, I like Drew. I think Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton will be the final two guys in the middle of the ring. I think that Brock Lesnar won't last. Either Drew McIntyre flips him over. I'm predicting that that's going to happen just because he pinned Walter in the Survivor Series. Why not throw over Brock Lesnar and have a pay-per-view match at the Elimination Chamber between them two? I can see that happening, right? But again, there's just so many possibilities. I mean, we could see that. We might see Keith Lee. Who was it? CM Punk went on backstage saying Keith Lee should win the Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? So does he know something that we don't know? You know what I mean?
Possible.
Right.
A lot of possibilities.
Who's to say, look, there's going to be a whole bunch of different angles. All right. I mean, look, for all we know, CM Punk could go in. All right. For all we know, John Morrison could win.
I've even said John Cena could be the surprise.
Right, we did say that last week that John Cena could be a surprise. So right now, okay, we got Brock Lesnar one. We got Roman Reigns, King Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan, AJ Styles. You know, he's never won the Royal Rumble yet. Randy Orton, Elias, Rey Mysterio, Ricochet, Drew McIntyre, we already mentioned, Otis and Tucker, the Heavy Machine are in it. Rusev and Bobby Lashley. I canceled them out because they have their beef with each other. But we never mentioned Aleister Black. And thanks for the horn, buddy, back there.
Sorry, buddy.
But Kofi Kingston, Big E made themselves known they're going to participate. Another one that's waiting for approval is Booker T. So imagine that. And we didn't mention Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is also going to be in it. You know, just so many angles. But my biggest interest is Velveteen Dream is going to show up. Will he show up? Edge, a lot of people are speculating Edge might show up. If Edge shows up, then I don't think John Cena is going to make it. Who else? And then who knows who's going to make it from NXT UK. Now, remind you that their pay-per-view is Saturday, is the
Correct.
NXT Worldwide between the NXT United States and NXT UK. So these guys are going to be probably worn out by the time they hit to the Royal Rumble for Sunday. But again, there's just so many possibilities. But yeah, Drew got my attention. But if there's anyone past that, maybe it's that. Maybe it is Roman Reigns that could win the Royal Rumble and put his name as add his name to the list of people that won it twice in their careers.